Welcome back to Four Wheel Builds, and today guys it's finally the day we are going to paint the Citroen Berlingo XTR. In the last episode we prepared all the panels, we sanded everything down with 600 with sandpaper, we body filled, got all that done to ensure that there's no damages. The mirror cover was plastic welded, all nicely sanded down with 600 grit sandpaper as well. So guys, the next thing is I need to prepare these fender plus the underside of the hood, so get this painted. So I need to throw some sealer on here on the hood hinge. On the inside here I need to put some base and clear coat, and also on the hood, on the underside of the hood, obviously I need to get all this painted with undercoat, base and clear, so then we can put the hood back on the car and get the hood painted whilst it's on the car. So the first thing I want to do is get the hood masked off. The mirror cover can also be painted today, and the fender, what I can do is actually get that taken off and paint that off the car. Alright, in order to mask this hood off, first what I need to do is just clean up all the parts I'll be painting. So isopropyl alcohol, and away we go. Okay, I've got everything masked off. About a couple of hours of daylight left. So now let's go mix some sealer and let's get all these parts painted. I've given everything one last wipe down with isopropanol, so basically everything's ready to be painted. So now let's mix up paint and let's get spraying. Now this Upol high build primer we can use as a sealer, then we have to mix it in a ratio 4:1, 4 parts primer, 1 part hardener, and then 10% thinners. Okay, and both of the coats with the sealer have now been done. And how much paint did I use? Well, not all that much, I must admit. So I think I had about 300 odd milliliters, and now I've got, I reckon, about, I don't know, 200 maybe. So still quite a fair bit. So definitely mixed too much. Well, I can't really use it now. I haven't prepared any of the other panels to be able to spray this, but that's okay. That's a learning curve for me as well. And we have our first coat of base. It's still drying, so we need to give it about 10-15 minutes for it to just all the solvents to evaporate, and then we'll go for the second coat. 3M paint gun is I'm having a bit of a trouble getting the right fan and the right amount of fluid coming out, but overall it's all looking quite good. You can see that I missed on the mirror cover. I've missed the side a little bit, didn't paint up to there, but overall it's okay. And the hinge, I'm happiest with how the fenders came out. I think I dialed in the fluid here a lot better. Right too. So I've done the base, but it's getting dark now, so I can't really do the clear. The process went quite well. You might have seen on the clip that the tape lifted here and landed on the panel, and the same thing happened to me here, but I guess the result is worse. It's clear lifted up, this clear foil lifted up and landed there, and as you can see, when I pulled it off, it peeled the base color off. Oh well, I guess we'll be painting this panel anyway still, so I think we'll be able to get that sorted out then. Other than that, the process went quite well. I thought I've done quite well for my first time. Now obviously we'll come back tomorrow, get the clear done, and then I'll cover the whole car up and we'll do the rest of the panels. Let me know what you think. Guys, I'm back at the 4 Wheel Builds workshop today just to pop in and see how the panels are looking, and it is looking quite good. There's the mirror cover. Now the mirror cover, if you have a look on the side, it's a little bit more shiny. On the top here, it's a little bit more matte. I think I'll give this maybe another once over when we're going to be doing the remainder of the car. It's raining today. Yesterday we had beautiful weather, but today it is raining, and well, it's maybe not cats and dogs, but I can't get this work done, so I'm going to shift over and do some work on the workshop. So this will have to wait till the following weekend, but obviously for you guys it's going to be very, very quick. And one thing I do want to do is maybe just get this unmasked. So that came out quite well. Like I said, all this is going to be covered by that hood, I don't know, heat shield, whatever you want to call it, or sound shield. So that's going to cover that up. All I sort of mostly cared about is the fact that we didn't have this hard edge. So a couple of spots we do, like here, but overall, it came out quite well. And now I can go and remove the masking from the remainder of the car, because that's no longer needed either. Guys, and it is a few days later and we're back in the workshop, and today is finally the day when we're going to start painting the Citroen Berlingo XTR. But before we get into the process of actually getting the car painted, we've got to make space. So first of all, we've got to get the Berlingo out of here, then the B-mounts got to come out, and then we've got to clean this place up because this is no environment to actually paint a car. And then once that's done, we'll bring the Berlingo back in and we'll get it sprayed in. So let's get started. Half an hour later, and check out this space now. Big space, no clutter, all the crap is just gone to the side here, and it just really shows how much I need this rack and shelving space to pull this crap away. The workshop is now nice and clean now. I've had some help and cleaned the floor out. So now, with the cars outside, I'll get the bucket out and we'll give this front end a bit of a wash. Just make sure it's all nice and clean. Then we'll dry it off, we'll bring the car inside, clean it up, and we'll get spraying. Whilst we're outside, maybe I'll show you what I had a chance to do. So this is the efforts of all the painting all the gaps, or the niche. It came out really well. I had some orange peel on it initially, but I dried out and it's looking a whole lot better than it was earlier. Okay, the car is in the shop. Now what we're going to do is start back taping it all. I made this little contraption so I can put the mirror cover on there and get it stuck on so it doesn't go flying when I spray it. Okay, now what I've got to do is just back tape everything, then put some foil on it so we can cover everything off. I've wetted the floor down so the dust doesn't kick up as I walk around the car, and obviously when you spray you're doing it under fairly high air pressure, so I don't want this dust to be so flying up as I go through with the paint gun. So I've wetted the floor down, I've sanded everything down with 600 once again. I cleaned it all up with isopropanol, and we have now a surface ready to accept a sealer. So let's go mix some sealer up, put it in the gun. We'll use this R500 budget gun. It's cheap, but it sprays really, really well. We use that for the sealer, and then we'll use the 3M performance gun for the base and also for the clear. All right, so let's go mix up our paint and let's get painting. All right, we've got our first coat of sealer down. It went down quite smooth, and the 15 minutes is up in between coats. So now let's go and do the second coat in the areas that we need it. All right, we've done this second coat of sealer, and it came out smooth, very, very smooth. As you can see, it's all flashed off now. And we'll start mixing up our base to drop 2 coats on this. Well, hopefully 2 coats will be enough. Now before we get onto the base, I've got my tack cloth, and we'll just tack everything off. Just make sure that there's no debris, there's no crap that's falling down onto the panel. Plus we'll pick up some of it, I guess, the overspray. son! Look at that, guys. That's the first coat of base. It's gone down. Not looking too bad. Got a little bit of striping, plus I've got some little crappy piece, but I'll leave that until this dries off a little bit, and then I'll pull it off with the tack cloth. Got a little bit of tiger striping, so still very new to me, very nervous. Some of the edges, the primer is still showing through, so I need to take care of that. But overall, it's not looking too bad. There's some weird effect going here. I'm not quite sure if I didn't actually reach that phase, that end with the paint or something. Not quite sure. But overall, it's not looking too bad, guys. It's actually looking quite alright. For my first paint job, I must say I'm surprised as to how well it's coming out. Using the 3M performance gun with the PPS 2 cup system, it's going down quite well. One thing I am having issue with, the foil. If you have a look on the bottom, a lot of crap coming off. I blew that off before I started going with the base, because I noticed that with the second coat of the actual primer, some of these bits were coming off. Now, luckily enough, they haven't fallen on the car, which is a great thing. So I was able to blow them off, but as you can see, it is coming off in chunks. Now that's a concern as we go towards the second coat of base. Not sure if we'll do a third. We'll see how that comes out. But that sort of concerns me. I don't want none of this crap landing in the job, because, well, that's just gonna stop everything. But overall, leave me a comment. Let me know what you think. Just keep in mind, this is my first time I'm actually doing this. Let me know if I'm doing something not right. Always open to suggestions, learning new things and picking up new skills. And, well, if I'm doing something wrong, please point it out, because potentially I don't even know I'm doing wrong. I am I guess a YouTube painter. And the third coat of base was put on the mirror cover, and that's looking quite good now. And that'll be it for the mirror cover. So that'll be ready to just take the clear coat. Alright guys, disaster has struck. I've put down the second coat of base, and as you can see, there's specks of flakes of paint that's come off the foil under pressure and fallen in the paint job. Not very happy, I must admit. I did buy this foil from a company that deals with or supplies paint shops, but I don't know. I don't know what's wrong with this foil. Anyway, so I'm just waiting for this to dry off. What I need to do is actually get some very fine coat of sandpaper. I think it's 800 or 1000 grit, and I'll send these out, and then we'll throw a third and final coat. So hopefully by then, that time, all that crap will be gone and there'll be no more falling into the paint. I'm not quite sure what to do, but I do have this paper right here. So what I might do is actually throw this paper in these areas, especially at the rear and the front of the hood, and maybe that's just gonna help that this paint's not gonna fall onto the hood anymore. Alright, I've saved the situation hopefully somewhat by putting this paper tape in those areas where the paint gun will be hitting, plus on the windshield here, and on the sides I've done a double sort of wider tape to make sure that I don't get any of these flakes coming off. Now here I've got to thank Brian from Paint Society. I've been watching his channel. Guys, if you haven't seen it, go check it out. I'll put a link down below. One of the episodes I watched that Brian did, the piece of advice is, if there's something going on that's not right, stop, have a think about what you do to fix it. Do not push ahead, because if I were to keep on spraying base over this, I'll be able to see those flakes. The whole paint job will be ruined. Then if I put clear coat on it, that's it. It's done and dusted. Well, the only thing I could do then is respray it. By doing what I've done, hopefully I'll save the situation. Keeping my fingers crossed. Please keep your fingers crossed as well. Now, I'll get that sandpaper or that sanding pad out. If I can just find out where I put it. So now with that fine sanding pad, just got to go through and ensure that all of these have been sanded out to the point where you can't see them, feel them, and that way the third coat of base will address these. Hopefully I've saved the situation. So I've rubbed those specks down with that sanding pad. They haven't disappeared, but they are so thin that I can't feel anything. There's literally nothing there. They are very, very thin. I mean, they're microns. So I hopefully sanded everything down and everything is going to be okay. I'll do the third pass now. So wish me luck, and hopefully everything will be fine. Check that out. I've been able to save the hood from those nasty specks. I've sanded them out. Can't see anything. Now if you go back a tad, can you see those stripes? Tiger striping. Yes, I believe the passes I was making were not overlapping enough, and I believe that's why I've got this effect. I had 3 passes and yeah, we got that tiger striping come out, so a little bit disappointed with that. I can't correct it anymore because I'm out of paint. I only got a little bit left, and it's definitely not enough to cover the bonnet. So it has to stay as it is. Overall, it's not too bad. Maybe one day I'll decide to repaint this. I don't know. We'll see how it goes. But overall, I came out quite well. So now what's left to do is out with the base and in with the PPG clear. PPG Deltron D100, and that's a 1-to-1 mix with the hardener. Sorry, no 1-to-1, 2-to-1 mix. Alright guys, and I've just dropped the first coat of clear. Put it this way, it's not looking the best, but it's not meant to look the best on the first coat. The first coat is the coat where you drop it, it grabs onto the base, becomes tacky, and then it becomes like sticky tape for the following coat. So is there, there's sort of drier spots, there's better spots, but I just needed to drop it down without any runs, which I've done. There is no runs in the first coat. Once again, I had to put my tape in. Literally guys, do not, I repeat, do not save on foil, do not save on tape. Use the stuff that's designed for automotive use. You'll have a better experience. Every time I come up to an edge, I'm living through a nightmare. Is my approach going to lift up some crap that's then going to fly up in the air and going to land on the panel? But overall guys, the first coat is looking, I think, good. Maybe some of you more experienced guys, you can tell me if it's crap or if it's not good. But the second coat will be tighter, it will be slower to make sure that we'll get a great finish. 10-minute wait for it to tack off, and then we'll drop the second coat. 2 days later at the Four Wheel Builds workshop, where we've just painted a 2010 Citroen Berlingo XTR. It is the first paint job ever performed by the Four Wheel Builds workshop. Want to take a look how it went? And there we go, guys. It is slicked in. There's a little bit of trash here and there, a little bit of spots. I did get some water spots or something like those along those lines. I'm not quite sure if you'll be able to pick it up. There you go. I think I need a better filtration system on my setup. There's a bit of trash nibs. I will polish this out, so I'll sand this down with some sandpaper and then polish this out. There's a little bit more of these water spots or fish eyes, whatever you want to call them. As you can probably make out, there is a bit of orange peel in the finish, but once again, once I polish it out, I think a lot of that should disappear. Here the orange peel is a bit worse. I don't know, guys, let me know, leave your comments, let me know for our first job, is that okay or is it too bad? I didn't get any runs. There is absolutely no runs, which is that's what I was sort of scared about, that I'll put too much paint on. And what I'm thinking is maybe I'll just put too little paint on. Not quite sure if that's such a thing. But overall, guys, I think for my first try, it's not too bad. It could be better. It's definitely not an OEM finish. It could definitely be better, but at the same time, I don't think it's too bad. Let's take a look at the fenders, see if you can be able to see. Another thing I noticed is, not sure if I'll be able to pick it up on camera. If you look about here or so, there's some deeper scratches which, well, you can just pick it up, you can tell that they're there. The fenders actually came out better than the hood, I must admit. So the overall finish of it is actually quite good, quite smooth. There is a bit of, once again, there is a bit of orange peel which I will sand and buff out. And check out the mirror cover. The mirror cover is really slicked in. I mean, that is very, very close to an OEM finish. If the whole car was done like this, I'd be very happy with it. But overall, I'm still pretty happy. Let me know in your comments what you think. So guys, in terms of what I think, how I did on my first go, like I said, I think I did all right. There's certainly things I learned from my first painting attempt, which I guess improve upon in the next attempt. So first things first is foil. I think getting the car covered up. Don't skimp on buying cheap stuff. Get good quality automotive stuff that's designed to be used for this exact purpose. I actually bought this stuff from APP. I bought it from a shop that supplies paint shops. My thoughts were exact that the foil is quality. Well, the foil can be used for this purpose. I mean, it does say on the description that it's widely used in body and paint shops, industrial plants and construction. So this is the stuff I got. But next time I won't use this anymore. I will not use this foil anymore, because as you've seen from all the crap that's floating around everywhere, all the paint that fell on this, it didn't stick to the foil. Whenever pressure came out, it came up to the foil, the paint would peel up and would just fly off as little particles and just land in the paint job. Just make the whole process a lot harder and a lot more stressful for me than it should have been. It is my first attempt, so I still think I handled the situation as well as I could expect, or maybe even better than I could expect of myself. The next point is tape. Do not buy cheap stuff that's used for housing, that you use when you paint your walls or something around the house. That stuff does not stick. It's not very lasting. Spray gun comes up, bang, lifts it up, and you've got tape flapping about and potentially landing in your fresh paint. Buy this stuff. Buy the stuff that's designed for automotive. Now here I did want to, not that I wanted to cheap out, it's just this stuff is readily available. I didn't think of any that it's going to be any different. Sample this and use this. Now I know better. I did actually get some of this, I guess, automotive tape, and luckily I did have some on hand to be able to save the situation. Next time, that's all I'm going to use. I'm going to be using, it's a little bit more expensive, but hey, it is going to be problem free, and that's what you want. You do not want to be running around and attempting to fix tape with fresh paint on your panels. From the lessons learned from this paint job, that's what I think what I've picked up the most. Overall, I'm happy with my body preparation. Apart from that left-hand side fender, there's a couple of deeper scratches which you can notice. The Rhinder's actually, well, it's good. There is no scratches that I can see, so in my view, the body prep was quite good from my side, in my view at least. Tell me if you think any different. I think one thing I still need to learn is that 3M performance gun. I've got that cheaper R500. I'm able to use that quite easily. Well, maybe not easily, but I can dial. I think I've got a hang of it. I can dial it in, so it's actually spraying quite smooth. The plane's falling out and not getting much of that orange peel. With that 3M performance gun, I must say I'm still trying to grasp the way it sprays. So I probably need a little bit more practice with it. But anyway guys, I hope you really enjoyed this episode. I really did. It was a very big challenge for me to get this car painted. I did it. I'm really happy about it. You know, the first one is off the block, and I'm sure I'm just going to improve with time. If you did like the content, please leave me a like. Leave me a comment what you think of what I've done. And if you enjoyed the content, please consider subscribing. It's going to help me and the channel out. Anyways guys, I'll see you in the next episode. See you guys then. Peace.